What's going on, guys? I have an important New World guide for you in today's video, and you can make an insane amount of gold doing this if you have the patience to do it. Now, recently there was an update that just came out. I think it was around about yesterday, and they have a note in the patch notes, and it says fixed an issue causing the Surgeon, the Pit Lord, Banes, and Mordisi the Mortician to not drop battle trophy materials. Now, I've never seen a major battle trophy material ever until now. We actually saw one get sold on my server today for 20,000 gold coins. So now that it actually fixed the drops, I'm going to assume they didn't drop in the first place. Kind of weird because mutations are coming out, right? So it feels like it's orchestrated. Anyway, you can now get these drops. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact locations that you can do this. I'm going to explain to you the weaknesses that you could potentially use that will help you kill them quicker. Now, I've been farming these today and I know exactly where all of them are. So let's get started and talk about where you can actually finally get these specific trophy drops. Now, I'm going to put all the trophy drops up on the screen now. There are 4 of them. So we have the ephemeral seal, the ancient mandible, the corrupted totem, and the glowing sap. Now I'm going to show you exactly where you can farm these specific trophy mats and potentially make a huge amount of gold right now, because I have farmed these and they're not easy to get. So if you can get your hands on these, there's plenty of gold to be made. Now the first one is quite a good location, is down in Brightwood, and if you go over here, this is called the Surgeon, and he is in this location right here. So you essentially come up this track here, come around here, just run past all the enemies, and he's right here. Now usually there's going to be a group there because there's a lot of people trying to farm this right now. Now the weaknesses against this enemy are going to be lightning, which is very weak, 30%, and then moderately weak against strike and slightly weak against corruption. So if you have some of those elemental gems on your weapon, you could potentially put in more damage. Now, you don't necessarily need those because this one is pretty easy to get whether you're by yourself or whether you are with a group. And the spawn time for this we found was around about 6 minutes. So this is the Surgeon, and he drops the ancient trophy mat. Now the next one, and probably the easiest one with the fastest spawn timer, this thing spawns within under a minute from what I can tell, is Brightwood is over here. You want to go to this shrine here, and so Lover's Shrine, come up to this area here, and he is right here. What I did is I came up here and I came around here and I jumped over the wall here. I think there might have been a gap, and then you can farm him as much as you like. He's on a very fast spawn retimer. Now he is very weak against nature, slightly weak against ice, and slightly weak against strike, but you probably don't need to add any of that because any weapon that you have, any setup that you have, you're going to easily be able to take this guy down if you're rolling solo or even if you're rolling with a group. So don't worry about that. I do suspect that the drop rate might be a little bit lower because the respawn time's too fast, but that's just speculation, so I have no idea. But this is where you find that specific boss, and he drops the seal. Now the next one is Banes, and as far as I can tell, you will only be able to do this one with a group, and here's in this location right here. So what you want to do is you want to spawn into the shrine right here, come up here, and this is actually one of my farming locations for boar. And then he's up, you got to go up the stairs, and he's kind of up the top a little bit. You should come across him as you run up the stairs. Now he is very weak against fire and moderately weak against slash. Now like I said, you will need to do this with a group. I don't think you will be able to do this by yourself. I tried and it's pretty much impossible for me anyway, and usually I farm this one with a group. This is probably going to be the hardest one that you come across. So I would recommend you do this with a group, but this one drops the glowing sap. And there are some pretty high buy orders on my server right now for this, and I guess it's because this one is a bit harder to farm. Alright, now the next one is the corrupted one, and this is up in the Shattered Mountains up here. What you want to do is come to the list location right here. You might want to put a tent in this area somewhere because this one can be a little bit difficult if you're by yourself, and there's lots of orichalcum in this one as well. Now when I went to do this one, I was in a group, and this drops the corrupted totem. Now this is very weak to arcane, moderately weak to thrust, and slightly weak against nature. So if you're into elemental gems, those are the ones you're going to want to run. But I would recommend doing this one with a group as well, although you could do it solo. The group actually left when I was doing my run, and I did kill him twice as a solo player. So it can be done, but it's always much easier to do it with a group if you can. But this is where you get the corrupted totem. I think this is probably the most popular one right now because people do use the trophies, the corrupted trophies for elite runs and things like that. Probably more popular than the Angry Earth and stuff. Well, when I was actually farming all of these, the most popular ones were the Ancient and the Corrupted. That's where the big groups were. Alright guys, that's just a quick guide showing you exactly where you can get the major combat trophy materials right now. Apparently now they drop, and you can go and farm those right now. But I would recommend doing them in a group if you can, but they can be done as a solo player. Don't forget to subscribe, tap that notification bell, smash that like button. If you want to see me streaming every day and come chill out, there's a link in the description. I'll see you on the next video.